All praises, all praises. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, YAHAWAH'S. Brother Ron brought it out mighty in the spirit, and we gonna keep rolling on with it, right? So if you don't know what we are here to do, we are here to tell you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you are the real Israelites and Jews according to the Bible.
That's right.
And in these last days, you need to repent and come back to the laws and commandments, so in order for you to get the kingdom. And if you don't, you will be destroyed, man.
That's right.
So the topic I want to touch on today is these pagan holidays. Because a few weeks ago, we brought it out about how our people celebrate Halloween and all these other pagan holidays of America, right? So today, we're going to bring it out about so-called Thanksgiving, or what we like to call Thanksgiving or Thanksstealing.
That's right.
Right? So, you got that book up. Alright, so I want to start off. Give me the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. Bring that up.
This the book of St. John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth.
The what?
Ye shall know the truth. Right. And the truth shall make you free.
Right, so according to the book of Psalm, chapter 119 and verse 142, the truth is the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
So our people, obviously, we don't know that. We need to know these things, because if you knew the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, you would know ain't nowhere in the scriptures where it tell you to celebrate these pagan holidays, man. You would know ain't nowhere in these scriptures where the Lord said it's okay to celebrate Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. None of these holidays, man. So our people need to open this book and get these laws and commandments in these last days, or you will be destroyed, man.
Right.
That's, all right, Con, let me get the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. We can't stress this enough, man. We got to bring these out on a weekly basis, man, because our people just don't get it. Like that.
Yeah. This the book of the prophet Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21.
Bring it out.
I hate.
The Lord said what?
I hate.
Right.
I despise.
So he started off by saying, I hate and I despise. So let's see these things that the Lord hate and despises. Read.
I hate. I despise your feast days.
Your what?
Your feast days.
Thanksgiving.
Your feast days.
Christmas.
Your feast days.
4th of July.
Your feast days. Right. And I would not smell in your solemn assembly.
Right.
Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings.
Right, so on Thanksgiving, our people do that. Jake walking around, his belly still poking out from that damn Thanksgiving dinner he ate a couple days ago.
Right.
He got a damn belly full of damn pork slices, turkey, that damn sweet potato pie grandma made. They at the damn Thanksgiving table praying to the Lord, talking about, oh yeah, we gonna give this praise to the Lord, happy Thanksgiving.
Right.
The Lord not dealing with that, man. Read that.
That's right.
I would not accept them.
No, the Lord gonna accept that damn pork on Thanksgiving.
I would not accept them. Right. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. Verse 23. Take thou away from me.
The Lord said what?
Take thou away from me.
The Lord said what?
Take thou away from me. Right. The noise of thy songs. Right. For I would not hear the melody of thy vows. Right.
So today we're gonna touch on this so-called Thanksgiving, man. Cause I don't get how our people expect the so-called white man to stop rape, robbing, and murdering them in the streets, but they willingly celebrate the same holidays where they was being raped, robbed, and murdered. What sense do that make, man? These people not gonna stop killing you in the streets if you gonna keep celebrating the holidays where they was killing you, man.
Right.
So you can start with. All right. So today we gonna get the truth about this so-called Thanksgiving, man.
No.
All right. So we gonna bring this out. So this book, if y'all don't know, this is the book of the elder of the camp. He's the author of this book. It's called Holiday Hustle. You can see on the front, it says Frank Zechariah Jordan, right? The elder of YAHAWAH'S camp.
Right.
So y'all need to check some of these books out, man. This book is about all the pagan holidays that our people celebrate in America, right? But today we're gonna touch about the Thanksgiving, right? So you can, yeah, right, just read the highlighted parts.
All right. The story Thanksgiving that we're taught through the account and eyes of society, pastors, parents, and school is a very heartwarming account.
A very what?
A very heartwarming account.
Right, so that's what they teach our kids in school, man. On TV, on all the cartoons, they got cartoons about how the so-called Native Americans and the Pilgrims, they got together and had a peaceful feast day, right? That's what they tell you about in school, right? That's what they teach you in school, and they put on the cartoons on TV shows. But let's see what this really gonna go into and what really happened on so-called Thanksgiving.
Account of history, whereas English and Dutch pilgrim settlers journeyed to the Americas. Once they embarked upon this strange land now titled America, they came peacefully, made friends with the natives of the land, and planted a bountiful, loving 3-day feast and harvest during 1621, celebrating the first harvest since the Puritan separatists docked in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Right, so this damn white man, he a damn liar, man.
Right.
So he said that, you know, they had a peaceful feast day. That's what they teach you about in school. But y'all, our people need to get the truth about this, man. Let me get the book of Psalm chapter 58, and you can start at verse 2. Psalm 58 and 2. Because what you don't get about these people, they some damn liars, man.
That's right.
They tell you, oh, it was peaceful. The Pilgrims and the Native Americans, they sat down to have a peaceful feast day. But that's not what really happened, man. That's why the Lord told you need to separate from your enemy, man. You need to never to trust your enemy, man. Because these people some damn liars. Read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 2. Yeah. In heart ye work wickedness. What? In heart ye work wickedness.
So this talking about the so-called white man. In heart, which is your mind, he work wickedness. All he think about is ways on how to destroy you, man. Right. These people, all they thinking about is what land they can steal, what resources they can take, how they gonna kill the indigenous people of the land to get what they want. Read that.
Yeah. In heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Verse 3. The wicked, the who? The wicked are estranged from the womb.
So the Lord called these people the wicked, right? It's a certain nation of people on this planet that's called the wicked. And in the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24, the Lord said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's right.
So what nation on this people in today's world rule this earth? That's the same wicked nation that the Lord is talking about in this verse right here. Right? Read on.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
What?
Speaking lies. Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Read it again from the top.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
And this damn devil, man, this so-called white man, he is damn serpent, man. He is slithering snake, man. He sneak up on you, man, then he hit you with that poison, man. Read that.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Verse 5.
That's it. So we're going to finish reading on from this book.
The true documented history.
The what?
The true documented history.
Now you finna get the truth about Thanksgiving, man, and Thanksstealing. Because obviously the so-called white man in your school system is not telling you the truth about this wicked-ass feast day that y'all celebrate.
That's right.
The true documented history has shown the real account of Thanksgiving is a story of the murder
of the what?
Of the murder
Right.
of indigenous people and the theft of their land.
Right, so this what our people want to celebrate, man. The death and destruction of your own people. That don't make no sense, man. Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and I want verse 49.
of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation, a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Right, so this certain nation, their symbol is the eagle. And when you look at the eagle, all the so-called white nations of the earth, their symbol is the eagle.
You know?
America, Rome, Greece, all of them, the symbol is the eagle. Spain, all of them. All of the so-called white nations, their symbol is the eagle, right? And the Lord said he gonna bring this nation from afar, right? So this certain nation, like you said, at the top, the Dutch, the English, all these pilgrims, they came from on the other side of the earth to come to America, so-called America, right? That's a curse that the Lord talked about in the book of Deuteronomy, right?
That's right.
Read that.
As swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right, because before the so-called white man came over here, you Native Americans and the Hispanics, they were speaking broken dialogues in Hebrew, right? And the reason y'all speak Spanish today is because you was conquered by the Spaniards.
No.
So we didn't understand English and Spanish before them people came over here, man.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
What?
Of fierce countenance. Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. And what verse you at now? All right, Kanye, read that last one.
Verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
So thou be what?
Destroyed.
Right. And as it just said in this book, it said, you know, the indigenous people, that was a day where they robbed and murdered them. It's just theft of their land, right? So read on.
It says, when they had sailed back home to England, they took more than 100 Indians as slaves.
As what?
As slaves.
Right, and that's another curse. That's how you know these scriptures talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
So you could jump to verse 68. That's how you know you so-called Negroes not the only ones that fit the curses in these scriptures, man. Read that.
This the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
To what?
Into Egypt again with ships.
We all know, according to Exodus 20 and 2, Egypt is the house of bondage, which just means slavery, right? So the Lord said he gonna bring his chosen people back into slavery again, right?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
You can stop right there. So read that part again for me.
When they had sailed back home to England, they took more than 100 Indians as slaves.
Right. So when they went back to England, they took the so-called Native Americans with them, right? The Lord just said you gonna go back into slavery on ships, man. This true documented history is lining up with the precepts, man.
Right?
Read on.
Leaving them with smallpox.
With what?
Smallpox. This plague wiped out between 90 and 96% of the inhabitants in 3 years, destroying most native Indian villages completely.
Hey man, and I don't understand why do our people celebrate these damn pagan holidays, man? This what you want to celebrate? Or, matter of fact, bring that out in Deuteronomy 2 about the plagues. I think it's 61. What's that? 61. Right, bring that out.
This the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61.
So we're going to show how this so-called Native American Indians, all these things that happened to them is documented history is lined up with the Bible, man.
Hey, start at 58.
58?
So go down.
All right, come, go to 58.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 58. If thou wilt not do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name of the Lord thy God. Verse 59. Then
plague, that was a wonderful plague, man. That damn near wiped. Read that again.
Yep. It says, this plague wiped out between 90 and 96% of the inhabitants in 3 years.
Damn, they fit these curses, man. If you don't see that these people fit the curses, I don't know what to tell you, man. Read that.
Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful,
Right.
and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance,
Right.
and sore sickness,
Right.
and of long continuance.
Right.
Verse 60. Moreover, he will bring unto thee all the diseases of Egypt,
Right.
which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Verse 61. Also, every sickness,
Every what?
every sickness,
Right.
and every plague which is not written,
Which is not what?
which is not written.
Smallpox, that's not a plague that's written in these scriptures, man. But that's obviously that's a plague that wiped out almost all the so-called Native American Indians in that part of the land.
Right.
Which is not written in the book of this law, and them when the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
What happened to the so-called Native American Indians?
Destroyed.
Right, man. So we gonna finish reading up in that.
When the Pilgrims arrived in 1620, they were very unprepared for the winter.
They were very what?
Unprepared for the winter weather.
Right. So the so-called white man, we all know he not a survivor, man. This man weak as hell.
Right.
These people don't know how to survive, man. They didn't know how to grow crops. They didn't know how to get fresh water. They don't know how to fish. They didn't know how to do none of that, right? So the so-called Native American Indians, they showed them how to grow crops, showed them how to survive during the wintertime. And what was their reward for that? They was raped, robbed, and murdered, and slaughtered. These the people, holidays you want to celebrate, man.
They were very unprepared for the winter weather and many died. Pilgrims dug up native Indian graves.
They did what?
Dug up native Indian graves and robbed and vandalized their graves.
And did what?
Robbed and vandalized their graves.
Give me the book of John chapter 10 and verse 10, man. Bro, this history is lining up with the scriptures, man. You got that? Yeah, Con 10 and 10, man.
Bring it out, Art. Bring it out.
This the book of St. John, chapter 10 and verse 10. The thief,
The what?
the thief,
What is the so-called white man?
the thief
Right?
cometh not
Right.
but for to steal,
To do what?
to steal,
Right?
and to kill, and to destroy,
And to do what?
and to destroy.
Right, so that's exactly what they did, man. They came, they raped, robbed, and murdered. They stole, they killed, and then they destroyed the so-called Native American Indians. Like it's telling you in this documented history, right? These true facts.
Robbed and vandalized their graves for dishes and pots. Stole their crops, robbed their storage huts for food, and took many of the native Indians prisoners. Yep. The colonists invited the chief of the Wampog tribe.
They did what?
Invited the chief of the Wampog tribe.
After they raped, robbed, and murdered and stole everything from the so-called Native Americans, now they want to invite the chief of one of the tribes, and let's see what they invited him over for.
To their feast.
To their what?
To their feast.
Give me the book of Psalm chapter 55 and verse, you can start at verse 20. You can't tell me these don't line up with the scriptures, man. These curses fell upon the children of Israel. And we can see, according to this true history, that these so-called Native Americans is fitting the curses of Deuteronomy. You can read that. Can you start from the top again?
The colonists invited the chief of the Wampog tribe to the first feast as a celebration.
Say what?
As a celebration.
What the hell we celebrating, man? You just raped, robbed, and murdered and took everything from them, and now you want to celebrate? You gonna invite the same people that you stole from to come celebrate with you, man? What the hell type of sense do that make, man?
Right.
to their first feast as a celebration of the land that they had forcibly acquired. The English invited several tribes to their celebration. The colonists offered food and drink.
Did what?
The colonists offered food and drink.
The so-called white man, he like, hey man, hey, we gonna have a feast. Bring your whole family with you. We gonna have foods and drinks. He made it sound all nice and sweet, right? Read that.
This the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such, be at peace with him.
What did the so-called white man do?
Put forth his hands, such as be at peace with him.
Right, so why would you, when the so-called white man came over here and they came across the Native American Indians, they didn't have beef with them. They showed them how to survive in the wintertime, how to stay warm. They showed them how to build tents. They showed them how to grow crops, how to get fresh water. So, and you rape, rob, and murder these people, man. That's how you know these people the damn devil, man.
Right.
Why would you rape, rob, and murder the people that's helping you survive, man? What sense do that make, man? Read on.
He have broken his covenant.
He did what?
Broken his covenant.
I can't even number how many treaties they broke with the so-called Native American Indians, man. I can't even name it, man. Read on.
Verse 21.
Right.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Read it again.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
And that's the so-called white man for you, man. He make everything sound nice and sweet, right? He said, hey, after he just got done rape, robbing, and murder you, hey, come over for this feast day. Bring all your family, your kids with you. We gonna have foods and drink, you know, hey, we gonna have a good time. Read on.
But war,
What?
war,
But what?
war was in his heart.
What was in the so-called white man mind?
War was in his heart.
Right.
His words were softer than oil.
Right.
Yet they drawn swords.
Right. So read, and let's see what happened to the so-called Native Americans after the so-called white man invited them over for this feast day.
The colonists offered food and drink,
Right.
and 200 Indians,
And how many?
200 Indians
Right.
have mysteriously dropped dead,
Have mysteriously what?
dropped dead from unknown poison.
Bro, this man a damn devil, man. That's why the Lord told you to never trust your enemy, man.
That's right.
You come over for a feast day, for foods and drinks, and then mysteriously your whole family just dropped dead, man. What type of mess is that, man? These people the damn devil, man. That's why you can't trust these people, man. Let me get the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Alright, you can read on in that. All right.
The only Native American Indians who attended the Pilgrims' Thanksgiving in 1637 were those, what is it called? Pequots taken captive during a very violent raid that preceded it on May 26, 1637. At least 700 of the tribes
At least who? How many?
At least 700 of the tribe's estimated 8,000 members were slaughtered.
For what?
Slaughtered
Right?
by Caucasian English settlers
Right?
from 4 colonies and their native allies. This became known as the Pequot Massacre. Bloodshed was the most consistent theme of the first Thanksgiving.
Oh, peace and love.
Bloodshed was the most consistent theme of the first Thanksgiving in the New World.
Right, man. So obviously you can see that they've been telling you lies for generations, man.
That's
When
right.
they go on TV and you in school, they teach your kids that they had a peaceful feast day. The so-called white man, the so-called Native American Indians, that's not what really went down, man.
Right.
Right.
Read that. Start at verse 1.
This the book of the prophet Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1 from the top.
Bring it out.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
And do what?
Work evil upon their beds.
That's what the so-called white man do, man. This man, he don't get no damn sleep, man. When he laying in his bed, all he thinking about is what land he can take next, what resources he can take next, who can I murder next.
Right.
This man, that's all he think about all day and night, man. All he thinking about is rape, robbing, and murder. How they get advantage over people, man. You know?
When the money is light, they practice it, right? Because it is in the power of their hand.
Right, and the Lord put that power in their hands. Remember Esau, he was blessed with what?
Sword.
Right, the sword, man. So that's what he go around the earth, use his military to rape, rob, and murder and destroy everything, man. Take all the resources, right? Verse 2.
And they covet bills and take them by violence.
And do what?
Take them by violence.
How did they get so-called North America?
Take them by violence.
How did the so-called white man get South Africa?
Take them by violence.
Right. So this is what these people do, man. Because they know they couldn't go to the all these lands and shake hands with the people in charge and say, "Hey, can I have your land?" They know they gotta kill everybody in sight to get what they want, man. And that's exactly what they do. All right, you can do that.
Those who survived the attacks were sold into slavery.
There go to slavery again. That's how you know these people fit the curses, man. They were sold into slavery. After you rape, robbed, and murdered them, you couldn't get enough after that. Now you gotta take them, their children, their women into slavery, man. What kind of devil is this, man? Read on.
And with hundreds, if not thousands, of peacoats slaughtered and murdered, the Governor Bradford deemed it appropriate to call for Thanksgiving to celebrate their victory.
Oh, to celebrate our victory.
To celebrate their victory.
So what the hell you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans doing celebrating Thanksgiving, man?
That's right.
Don't you know this holiday was established because they celebrated the victory over our people? They raped, robbed, and murdered, and then they had a feast day. And you celebrating this feast day with them, man. So you celebrating your own downfall, man. You celebrating your own rape, rob, and murder. And you expect these people to stop killing you in these streets, man. Y'all ignorant as hell out here. Y'all need to wake the hell up, man.
That's right.
Read.
They stole and seized the land from the natives, capturing strong young native Indians for slaves and killing the rest. The Pequot's War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. In 1637, in the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside their huts and houses were burned alive.
What happened to our women and children?
Were burned alive.
What?
Burned alive.
So, I don't get this, man. Our people want to celebrate all these holidays when we was getting raped, robbed, and murdered, and they took our wives and our children and they burned them alive, man. Give me the book of Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. I'm going to get a couple more. This is unbelievable, man. And our people, we need to wake the hell up, man. Well, these things go continue to happen. Just like it said in the book of Micah, it said they covet fields and they take them by violence, man. So they took our men and they shot them down in front of everybody. Then they took our women and children and buried them alive, man. Read that. And that's why this so-called devil gotta get put to death, man. That's why this damn white man, he gotta be exterminated off the face of the earth, man. The Lord gonna make sure that happens. Read.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Right. So this so-called white man, he think he gonna get away with this, man. All the rape, robbery, murder that you did to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this man think he gonna get away with it, man. But the Lord got something in store for him, man. Read that.
And their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own name.
Right, so America was named after the so-called white man, right? Amerigo Vespucci. Because before they came over here, the Native Americans didn't name this land America, man. So that's how you know who this talking about. Read.
Verse 12. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not, he is like the beasts that perish. Verse 13. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Selah.
God. So you could read on a little bit, then we go finish it.
The next day, the governor of Massachusetts declared a day of thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men and women and children had been murdered.
I think I got one more page and then we go in there. So let me get the book of Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 15. I'll get one more after that and that's it.
With the deceptive concept of liberty and justice for all and land of the free concept, but in all actuality, the United States was truly founded and became prosperous based on the historical underlines and facts of the mass slaughter.
Of the what?
Mass slaughter and murder of the North American Indians. The theft of their land by the Caucasian European colonists. Also by the grim and brutal slavery of the native Indians and the black Hebrew slaves. By 1637, not only did Governor Winthrop order the massacre of thousands of men and women, natives, and enslaved them, this even marked the start of a Native American genocide that would take slightly more than a little over 200 years to accomplish.
These people been killing our people for over hundreds and hundreds of years, man. But we so ignorant, we still want to celebrate these damn holidays, man.
Right.
Read what you got, and I'm gonna bring out one more after that. Come on.
This is the book of the prophet Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 15. And I am very sore displeased.
Lord is what?
Very sore displeased with the heathen.
With the who?
With the heathen. That are at ease.
The so-called white man, he at ease, man. Like I said, he don't think nothing gonna come to him for doing all this, man. But the Lord got a punishment for this wicked ass devil, man.
Right.
That are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
We all know all the things that happened to our people, that was because of the curses, right? Because we broke the laws and commandments. But Esau, man, he didn't have to do that. He damn near exterminated every single Native American Indian, man. He didn't have to burn the women and children alive, man. Why you gotta do that, man? But it's cool though, because we gonna get our revenge in the end, man. Give me the book of Genesis chapter 49, verse 19. Come on, bring that up.
Not only did the European settlers create a debt system for the natives, but even more so created and instilled a fear of European supremacy through waging war with mass and advanced weapons, forcing their own self-image idols for mind control for the future generations of slaves. The genocide begun in 1637. Marked the beginning of the conquest of the entire continent until most of the Native American Indians were almost completely exterminated.
Almost what?
Completely exterminated. A few were assimilated into white society and the rest were forced and put on reservations to dwindle and die. What? Dwindle and die.
This the holidays that our people celebrate, man. Y'all need to do y'all research and y'all history about so-called Thanksgiving, man.
When Christopher Columbus invaded America in 1492, on his quest for silver and gold, the native population was numbered at an estimated 15 million plus, who lived north of current-day Mexico. It was by all means on-sited a very advanced and thriving civilization. 350 years later, the Native American population of North Mexico would be reduced to fewer than 1 million. This genocide was brought upon the natives by systematic mass murder and slaughter by Europeans.
So that's it on that book. So last but not least, we gonna bring this last piece up out, right? Read that.
This is the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 49 and 19.
Bring it out.
Gad, who? Gad,
Who is the so-called Native American Indians?
Gad,
Right?
a troop shall overcome him.
Right, and that troop is the so-called white men, the so-called pilgrims, all the Spaniards and the conquistadors that came over here and raped, robbed, and murdered from our Gadite brothers, man.
That's right.
A troop shall overcome him,
Right?
but he shall overcome at the last.
What's gonna happen in the last?
He shall overcome at the last.
That's right. So all you damn white people, man, the Lord, he gonna raise up these mighty Gadite brothers and all the rest of the 12 tribes of Israel these last days, man. And we gonna put your ass to death. And the ones that survive death, we gonna put you into slavery, man.
That's right.
So with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.
Oh.